Well, when you first get married, what's mine is yours. Life is a bed of roses. In a divorce, I want everything. It's the war of the roses. Shannon Boudreaux and Kevin Hunter from Boudreaux, Hunter and Associates share how some legal arrangements can help you stand up when you break down. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Deborah.
All right. I think a lot of people have, obviously heard about prenups, but it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind until you come to that point. So let's just explain what a prenup actually is.
So a prenup or a premarital agreement is an opportunity, a document where you get to actually kind of outline what property is going to be during the marriage. So if you have assets before marriage, you confirm them, areas are separate, and then what is my income going to be? Anything in the future during the marriage, how is that going to be characterized?
Okay. With that said, what if you two just really don't have anything together when you first start out?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like Chris Rock said, if you make 30,000 and she wants 15, it doesn't matter.
All right.
How much you don't have.
Yeah. All right. And then people get married and life changes, right? And so there's this thing called postnups.
Right. The difference between a prenup and a postnup essentially is the timing. The prenup happens before the marriage. The postnup happens after the marriage. But interestingly, in a postnuptial agreement, you can put anything you want in a postnuptial agreement. You can put who's going to be responsible for the chores. You can put how many games of golf somebody gets to play each month, how many times a mother-in-law gets to visit. So it's not, your postnup doesn't have to be about financial issues, and your postnup is also not in anticipation of a divorce.
Wow. Okay, so it's just an agreement that certain things are going to be done or not done.
Correct, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting how many times your mother-in-law can show up per month. Okay, there's even this thing called a pup-nup. As we know, many people have pets that are like members of the family.
That's right, and this is actually my favorite agreement, is the pup-nup. And it doesn't matter if you're married or you're not married. It's just the agreements of who's going to take care of these fur babies in the event that this couple separates. And it's not just who's going to take care of them, where they're going to live, is there going to be visitation, who's going to pay for vet bills, expenses with the pet, and even it can even go as far as the pet burial procedure.
All right, so you said you don't have to be married. So could this be even a case of two roommates who decided to get a puppy together that they can do a pup-nup?
Oh my God, yes. We get so many calls about that. The people aren't married, they live together, they separate and one person takes the dog and they feel like that was my dog. They shouldn't have gone. So yeah, roommates, friends, really anybody.
All right, and then there is a no-nup.
Yes, and so this is more for the people who are going to cohabitate. You see this a lot with millennials, even though millennials are actually using prenups a lot as well because they're getting married later. If you choose not to marry, some states have the common law marriage factors that come into play, and so a no-nup basically says that they will live together and that there will be no marriage, and it effectuates that for the purposes of the law.
Yeah, all right. So many times a prenup can be a bone of contention for a lot of couples, and they're like, well, you just don't trust me, you don't really love me, but why is it a good idea to at least explore doing some of these agreements?
Well, I think just from the millennial standpoint that I just mentioned, a lot of times you're coming into the marriage with assets already. They're waiting longer to be married. The average, I think, is 29 for women to get married and 28 for men now. We're up from 25 and 26. They may be children of divorce, right? And so that colors their background and why they want to do it. But I think that there's some good benefits too.
It's important if you own a business. Especially if you have business partners, because in the event that the marriage doesn't work out, the business is a community asset, is this ex-spouse now going to have to work with the business partners? Or also if you have children from another marriage and you want your children from another marriage to be able to have your assets or accounts or money or things like that.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, as you all know, family law can be very messy. This is just a way to remove some of that mess. Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Call Boudreaux, Hunter and Associates today to set up your relationship agreement. The number is 713-333-4430, 713-333-4430, or visit them online at bhlawtexas.com.